Happy New Comic Book Day, everybody, and welcome to the New Comic Book Day Blast for August 19th, 2020. And I got a full one today because I got some cool comic news to share, some new hires at a couple different publishers, a new indie series that just got announced, and I got some cool recommendations. So we got a lot of indie love today, and I got a couple books to show off, a couple of things that I picked up from the shop today. So let's jump right in. We're going to head over to DC because they're going to be in the news. They have been in the comic news for a while, just all the buzz. A good majority of the headlines have been focused on DC, and they just added to that by announcing the two new hires, or kind of, I guess you could say, advancements, promotions. So we already know about their layout, the recent layouts. Talked about that a bit. And Bob Harris, who was the editor-in-chief, has just been replaced. They just announced his two replacements. At least in some sites, they're saying interim replacements. So who knows how that actually works? Maybe they'll hold on to it for the long term. But either ways, congrats to Marie Javins and Michelle Wells for taking over as editor-in-chiefs of DC Comics. Marie Javins had previously been holding the digital strategy head over at DC, and Wells was in charge of the YA imprint, Young Adult. So congrats to them, and as they take over the reins of DC Comics and steer DC wherever the hell they're going right now, because DC's getting DC. So, but congrats and good luck to both of them as they take over their new positions. And over at Aftershock Comics, let's all congratulate Catherine Jamison, Rachel Panelas, and Charles Pritchett for joining the independent publisher in the roles of marketing manager, social community manager, and design manager, respectively. So they're bringing on 3 new people to help them grow. As I've talked about Aftershock several times, they are just a dope young, small publisher, and they're constantly growing, producing several dope titles, and you constantly hear me talk about them, as well as some of their titles, including Artemis and Assassin, which you will see later on in this video. So just congratulations to them 3, and hopefully they can just help them grow even more and take a bigger hold of the comic book market share. So congratulations to them and Aftershock as well, and look forward to seeing what you all do together and what you continue to produce in the future. And speaking of Aftershock, because we just got to stick with them, I want to talk about their new title they just announced, which is called Miskatonic. It is this mix, they call it a mix of crime noir and horror and Lovecraftian horror, and it kind of takes place in the 20s, and it just looks quite interesting. The premise sounds dope. They shared a couple of images of, including the covers and a couple of interior pages, so I'm definitely curious to see. I want to hear more about this. You can go look up some interviews there, and I will link those in the description, so you can go just read up about Mark Sable, who's the writer, and you can just go read up on what he kind of talked about the series, and then you can kind of see the creative team here. So this is just something, maybe you've heard of some of these creators, you want to check this out. Always looking for, especially if you're looking for just new titles out there, if you love Lovecraftian stuff. I like the crime noir aspect mixing with Lovecraftian because I love crime noir stuff. I've been watching a lot of classic movies. I've always like crime stories, but crime noir stories, especially from pre-60s stuff, 40s, 50s, and even going back into the 20s where this is going to take place. So I'm curious to see what the hell they do with this and where it goes. But definitely interested in reading some more of this. I'll be reading those interviews and just kind of checking out more of this stuff there. So that is Miskatonic from Aftershock Comics. And now on to some recommendations, because we got a lot of dope books out today. I told you we're going to get a lot of indie love, and that's what you're going to get. So starting over Image Comics, we got Decorum number 4, Hidden Back, this weird comic book as series, because it's just all kind of bizarre. If you pick up the first issue, and if you read any of this, let me know in the comments below, because it is just a bizarre ass book. There are multiple art styles in there, and I have no idea what the hell is even going on. How it all links together. There's always dropped two covers, so I'm picking those up. I'm picking up both for 4. Still have to pick up the variants for 2 and 3, but it's just a weird ass book. If you just think about it, somebody just said comics, and you could use Decorum as an example of just the weird shit that comics can offer, because that's just comics, baby. And then we're gonna jump back over to Aftershock Comics, because Artemis and Assassin number 4 is out. So this one is this time travel adventure, these killers, and this one just another just wild independent ass book, and just the creativity that comics can offer, especially independent comics and just comics in general, and just what the storytelling this medium offers. Artemis and Assassin is just a perfect example of just the crazy shit that you can do. Like, just think of it, and yes, Artemis and Assassin. Number 4, Aftershock Comics, because it's just weird, just wild ass book too, just fun. So highly recommend it, and that's one that constantly I talk about whenever it releases. So it's all usually a handy recommendation. So Artemis and Assassin, number 4, Aftershock Comics. And then we're gonna wrap up with Vault Comics, because they just started a new series that just launched today. Shadow Service number 1, which is one just I pre-ordered based off the premise, I think some time ago. I'm not even sure if that was one of the ones that I pre-ordered before, or it was a like pre-pandemic before everything shut down, or if it was one like after that. I have no idea, but so it starts out with a private detective. Now normally I talk about a private detective. Oh yeah, sure. Like, that's right up my alley. I already talked about crime noir stuff, so you already got my attention. But that's not it. This is a private detective who's also a witch. So you combine this, and who knows, like with witch stuff, you can take that anywhere. Like, that can go horror, it can go action, comedy. We've seen that in different mediums. Spycraft meets black magic in the shadowy world of MI666. So I'm like, oh, that's just cool. Nice little touch there. So you already got my attention, so I already had that pre-order. Can't wait to get that one in. Looking forward to reading that one. So that is Shadow Service number 1 from Vault Comics. And I'm gonna finish up with a couple books that I picked up today. I stopped at the shop. I was looking for another issue. I did not get it, so I have to order that one and pick it up from another shop. But that was Once and Future from Boom Studios. That was one I did not get the pre-order in. But so I ended up picking that one up. But this one is Valkyrie Jane Foster, number 10. Now this one is one of the Marvel series that is going digital only, but I don't remember if, I think there was an update and they decided not to do that, to keep it in print, but I have to double check. I'm not positive, but here's number 10. And this one has probably been due for a while, because I know I read through 9 months ago, and because I think 9 was current whenever, I'm not even sure now. It's like the pandemic just threw off a whole bunch of shit, and like just keeping like the schedule and just time of publishing and releases, like some of that shit, I'm like, I have no idea when the hell that happened. Who even knows? But there's this other title that I saw there, this indie book. Again, you got a lot of indie love today. And I was staring, I was like, I have never seen this cover before. I didn't know, I hadn't heard about this book. Don't even know the publisher, honestly. But this is, I don't think this is their first book, but I think it is just a debut of a new series. But here is Ninjas and Robots, number 1 from King Spot. I have no idea. But I was just looking at it and I was like, okay, Ninjas and Robots, cover looks cool. And just kind of flipped through a little bit, and I figured, what the hell, I'll check it out. I mean, it does have a $5 price tag, which is kind of off-putting for a debut issue, but I'll check it out. I don't know who, you got Eric Klaus and Katie Amaker. Was it Amaker? Amaker, sorry. And I looked it up briefly just to see what the hell it was, but I didn't read through the premise, so I was like, all right. I saw something about Ninjas and Robots. This character here, who is, I think she might be both, maybe. And there's something about her remembering either how to fight or something like that. I can't remember. I had to look at the premise. But I was like, all right, you know what? I'll buy it. Let's check it out. Indie books, some indie love. Let's go with it. So, Valkyrie Jane Foster, Ninjas and Robots, and yeah, other cool stuff out this week. So, that is that. Whole lot again. A lot of cool news. Some new hires, the DC and Aftershock. Aftershock's new title. Got some cool recommendations out there. Shadow Service, Artemis and Assassin, Decorum, and all those are just wildly different and just offer up a lot for readers, for visuals, and just storytelling. So a whole lot. Comics always have tons to offer. And yeah, that's that for New Comic Book Day. Also want to send another recipes to Edwin the Comic Jabroni Ocasio, because again, I haven't been able to catch up, but I've still been getting a ton of comments on that, plenty of views. People just absolutely adored him and just loved him just as a person, just what he did for the YouTube comic community, just his videos, his content, and his personality, his energy, his passion. So I definitely just wanted to shout him out again. So rest in peace, Edwin. You'll be missed. Yeah, and just condolences out to his family again. Man, that's going to wrap it up for August 19th, 2020. New Comic Book Day Blast. This is GENOTHADRAGON. Happy reading, happy hunting, happy collecting, and peace out.